Welcome to Ecom Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show where we talk about one thing and one thing only. That's what's now and next in e-commerce, so marketers like you can survive and thrive. I think it's possible my microphone needs to change right now. Is that right, Carson? Let's do it. If it should. Okay, let me reach up. Let me reach up and change this thing. Look at that. Look at that. Yes. Now look at us. I bet I sound a lot better to you and to myself and everyone who's watching. You know, this show happens because of our incredible partners, Seguno, Postscript, and AMP. And we've got a jam-packed show for you today. Isaiah Bollinger, SVP of Zaelab, joins the show, formerly CEO of Trellis. He also took me to the very coolest event I've ever been to, Miami F1. We'll give you all of the deets. He's got perspective for us on the B2B side of e-commerce and what we can take from that for consumer. Sweeney launched her own lingerie brand. There's a little bit of kerfuffle on the internet, and some people are saying that this is a big miss. I'm not sure that I agree, but we'll get into it. ReRhone has rolled out a resale site to make up for the 5,000 some odd exchanges and returns that they experience monthly. I think this is smart, and all of us need to do something in the same vein. MetaSnap, TikTok, and YouTube are headed to trial on Capitol Hill, perhaps, because what? They've created a product that is addictive for teenagers. And do we actually hate ads? It's what many that are dominating our social feeds right now. It's what many of their entire strategies are based on. I'm not sure about that. Amazon lays off 16,000 corporate employees. Gen Z's cutting down on their working efforts. And our good friend Rock tells us diversify or die. We've got a jam-packed show for you today. And as always, I'm joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here. Get inside.
Let's go. Let's go.
You know, anytime I see a A-list celebrity roll out a new product of any kind, I'm pretty for certain that one can take it to the bank. This is a home run and a win. Yep. But the internet and astute marketers with big brains have disagreed with what is currently taking place with Sweeney's new lingerie brand. Let's get into it a little bit. Let's read this. This is from Emily Sundberg. The logo for Sweeney's lingerie line looks like it's for a salad dressing company that launched in 2019. I kind of thought this was true, really, but let's keep going. Other minds entered into this conversation. Logo, font, name, branding. It's all so bad. That's from Diana Carlisle. I guess you say this, SYRN. I was thinking it was SYRN at first, SYRN, but some of the comments are saying, no, this has got to be pronounced SYRN likely. And Kendall Dickinson, She says this: if your potential customer doesn't even know how to pronounce the brand name correctly, you are not going to make it. Sydney launched all of this with a stunt of sorts by hanging lingerie on the Hollywood sign. Obviously, here others are saying, I thought this was a minstrel company. To be honest, there's a lot of dragging that is taking place here, Colin. What was your take at first blush when you saw all of this? Does this match with what you're seeing and thinking on your side?
Yeah, she's still going to crush with this. This is going to be an unbelievable company. I do think maybe a little bit of the logo and, not quite the brand name makes a total sense, but the demo, the audience she's built up, the whitelisting CPCs that she's going to get from just doing her own campaigns for the lingerie themselves. We haven't even seen the products. A lot of this is knee-jerk reaction almost immediately. We haven't even seen the actual products that they're launching yet. So I think people love to absolutely just love to see someone trying to do something and then come exactly for their throat and just be like, this sucks. Give her 6 months. Let her go off to the races for a sec here. I don't know. How many TV shows have you been on?
It's a fair question.
Like, she's super well capitalized. If she really wanted to get institutional capital, she could. And this has a lot of longevity to it. Also, Sydney Sweeney is a really good brand face for a lingerie company. This is a home run. I think people are they love to poke fun. It's a very much a man in the arena right now. Like,
good point.
When this becomes Skims 2.0 in 12 to 24 months, I think people are going to be like, obviously this was going to be a home run. And we're going to pull up all of these tweets and be like, actually, no, you all said this sucked. So
I think our commentators on the X feed, I do think they have some points. Okay. I don't know. I didn't know how to say the name. I thought it was SYRN. I didn't know what that was. I do think it's probably pronounced SYRN. The branding, the logo, I get it. It looks like a salad company. I'm not sure exactly what it is if I don't see it in context with Sydney Sweeney, the product, etc. There are product photos out there which we will not show. Okay, safe for work here. I'll just say I think it's obvious. And even Harley himself, co-founder of Shopify, is saying, hey, this is built on Shopify, and there's a lot to be proud of here if you're associated with this brand. Why? It's Sydney Sweeney, okay? And there's always a few that are at the top of their game, and they could be kind of codified or categorized as one of America's great leading ladies. I think Sydney Sweeney is there right now, and she's making the most of the moment. Okay. Did Marilyn Monroe roll out a few products that maybe people didn't like at first? I would guess Elizabeth Taylor the same. Maybe there was some kerfuffle about a perfume or a diamond or what she ever rolled out. But the point is that this is Sydney Sweeney. Okay. And obviously, she's very beautiful. She's featured in every movie and show that there is to be had. I think this is a pretty logical win. And I think in 12, 24 months, like you said, who's going to be complaining? I mean, everybody's going to know how to say the logo.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's going to know how to say the name.
Yeah.
Know what it is. And let's be honest. It's a pretty clear-cut winner. I don't think there's a lot that has to be said to realize this is going to make mega bucks.
I'll also take it a step further. Probably in the next coming 1 to 2, maybe 3 weeks, there's going to be 15 to 20 brand new roles opened up at this company for people in e-commerce. You would be an absolute silly goose not to consider these, because this is going to be a rocket ship.
Yes, it is.
And you're going to have some of the best brand stories possible. And so this is going to be incredible. It's also incredible for the D2C e-com scene as well. You want to see celebs and these influencers betting on e-commerce. This is a good thing. You need to be celebrating this. You need to not tear these people down and welcome them into the ecosystem. And it's you love to see it. In 24 months, I'm calling my shot. This thing's going to be an absolute monster.
I think also, of course, it's a launch. Nobody knows how good is the product. Here's my point. The product doesn't even have to be that good. It doesn't. Okay. Sydney Sweeney has gone, all out here.
Sure.
And, put her face, okay, on the product. Yeah. Obviously, we all know what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah. Product doesn't even have to be that great. Okay. Sydney Sweeney is a part of it. If you make her a part of your movie, pretty fair to say that it's going to win. I mean, even Madam Web, which was a terrible movie, but she was a part of it. And it led to more successes down the road. Okay.
Yeah.
So, make the most of the moment. I think that she is. And, who knows? Who knows how long she's going to be in this kind of category of America's sweetheart. She does a commercial for American Eagle and everything goes up and to the right. Yeah. So
she's also very good friends with one of the richest men in the entire world, Jeff Bezos and his wife.
Oh, really?
So if you would love to go head to head with that funding and be like, oh, I can do this better than you, please be my guest. I would love to see you try to compete with that. Yeah. And that distribution, by the way. Would love to see that.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Not many people are going to enter into that fray. This is an obvious winner, and Harley's celebrating. Okay, he's proud to be a part of it.
It's a great
Who wouldn't be? Yeah. I think if we all got on the roll there and we got some kind of fancy title inside of that company, probably stamp it and talk about it inside of our resumes forever hereafter. Yeah, I think it's a win. I think it's a win. Maybe we stumbled out of the gate, but you've got the thing for marketers is when you're accepting a role, you got to bet on the right horse. That's the deal.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
This Sydney Sweeney is the kind of person you want to be associated with. I mean, remember Ty Haney? Who doesn't want to be associated with Ty Haney and Outdoor Voices? It's the person, it's the people, and being associated with them and what they're going to do. I think it's a natural win. I don't see anything that's going to stand in their way. No. I don't think so. We have a very important person, a knower of ball, as I have been excited to say as of late. It's a phrase that I have used quite often that is coming to us. But before they get here, I want to tell our audience here about Seguno. Seguno is the only marketing suite that is built entirely inside of Shopify. That's correct. There's no duct taping of data, integrations that you're concerned may not actually work. There's none of that to be done because your emails, your pop-ups, your banners, your reviews, it all lives right there in the place that you already work all the time. To me, this is email 3.0. Why? Because I don't have to worry about is the data actual and true, which if you've been in the email game for very long, you do worry about. Your Shopify data is the data. Okay, it's all right there in one place and space. And if you are a lean team with big aspirations, big dreams, Seguno is purposefully built for you. Nitty gritty, down and added e-commerce, D2C. I wish that I had known of it and used it many years ago. If you don't have a full-time email marketer on your team, this is for you. And what I would say is you should go to seguno.com right now. What they will do is they'll give you a free trial. Okay, but if you mention, hey, we're coming from Ecom Cowboy, Chris and Colin sent us, they'll extend that free trial to 30 days. It's the best buy in the email game. One-click automations, real human help. They're not even going to send you to partners to get help. They will help you themselves. They're Shopify experts. And it's a big reason why they got Build of the Year for Shopify in 2024. So you go to Seguno, get that free trial, tell them we sent you, and find yourself a few more dollars for 2026. And now, Colin, one of my favorite people inside of our entire space, Isaiah Bollinger, SVP of Zaelab, former CEO of Trellis, knower of ball, and scaler of B2B brands. Get inside of here, Isaiah. Get in this show.
Get in here.
We lost Isaiah.
It feels good though.
There he is.
There he is. Let's go.
It was like loading, but it was really slow. And
Yeah,
Let's go.
for you. What you guys got going? I didn't expect it to be this spectacle. That my podcast is a little more boring, so that's part of the problem.
Well, we do this. We do this for you, Isaiah. We want it to feel fancy for you. And that's right. It's something I didn't mention. Host of B2B e-commerce podcast, The Hard Truth About B2B e-commerce. This is 5 years running. You've been heads down on this thing.
I've been slacking a little bit. I got to get some new guests, but we're a little backlogged, but we'll catch up.
The reason that I wanted you to come on here, Isaiah, number one, you and Jared both took me to one of the sickest events that I've ever been to in Miami. Okay. F1, D2C, okay, rubbing shoulders with Taylor and all the things, okay. But number two, because you guys now, you have, of course, you exited from Trellis. Now you guys have joined forces with Zaelab. You guys are essentially, you're like the number one commerce agency for manufacturing and distribution, it's a world that I know very little to nothing about. And I think methinks that there are learnings and things that you are seeing on a macro level there that are different from what we do on the consumer side, but also have a lot of help for what we're doing on the consumer side. That's my take.
And yeah, absolutely. Like there's a part of it that's very different. And then there's a part of it that is not that different and very similar to D2C. And you also have to remember there are some that do both, right? Some of the best companies do both.
Yeah. Well, tell us when you are serving manufacturing and distribution clients, brother, just describe that. I can't even find these people on the internet. Well, I don't even know where they exist.
Well, I'll give you an example of one of the larger, companies that we work with is Milwaukee Tools. Milwaukee Tools is probably the most well-known brand. It's a parent company that owns a bunch of the brands. And you, from a consumer perspective, you know what we're talking about in that you might go to Home Depot, you might see their product in stores and you deal with it from that perspective. But there's this entire complex chain of events happening for the B2B buying side of things. So when Home Depot's buying or from Milwaukee Tools or any of the other stores that are selling them or the larger people that are buying them in bulk, it's a very different process than what you might be used to from a consumer buying experience.
Do you see some of the same frustrations in that buying process? Meaning, there was friction on my website somewhere, and they didn't add the
more complex
and tools to cart.
It's yes, but it's just way more complex. It's also just very different because a consumer, you're shopping, you're having fun. You might have FOMO buys. You see things like Whatnot. I did my first Whatnot purchase, by the way.
Come on, let's go. What'd you get?
Gen Z and cool for that moment. I spent like $20, but
nice.
Anyways, when you're buying as a consumer, I think we can all agree a lot of times you don't need the product, right? You need food, you need water. There's things you need and there's necessities, but it's a lot of fun D2C buying. It's more of a fun browsing experience. In B2B, you're trying to optimize for them doing their job. The person buying is maybe trying to literally fix a house or change the boiler and get a new boiler for the job that they're doing or do procurement in advance. So the friction there is more complicated because it could be, hey, we have set purchase order terms. But when I go to buy out, the terms aren't reflected because I have my own personal terms that are different than the terms that maybe the other customers might get. And so there's a lot. I would argue that probably the biggest complexity is personalization, and there's a level of personalization needed from a B2B buying perspective that's, in a general sense. So this is obviously everything's case by case, much more complex than D2C. Does that make sense? I'm trying
No, it does. It does. Yeah, you're not just loading up a few more ads inside of Instagram and letting it rip and everything's going to work.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of these are, request a quote, but a lot of times people don't even want to pay with credit card, right? Because no one, especially the distributors, manufacturers, they don't want to eat 3% on a $30,000 order, right?
Sure.
And the margin might be slimmer because they're offering, really good deals on these large orders. So, it's a lot more ACH or net 30, net 60. I mean, we see net 90. Yeah. Net 90 sounds brutal, but that's like a common thing in B2B.
Well, I would wonder from an agency side, if I were listening to this as an agency owner and I hear, one of Isaiah's clients is Milwaukee Tools, I would think, that's pretty cool. Okay. I'd like to work with Milwaukee Tools, but that level of client is dealing with a totally different set of way more complex issues and problems inside of their business that essentially you on the agency side need to be able to solve and be willing to get into and help them solve for them. Is that fair?
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's also just one thing I've learned is I kind of bucket companies into like a few different tiers, right? You have kind of the new business that just needs any sales they can get. And I've experienced that firsthand. Then you have kind of the maturing small business, maybe $1 million to 10 million. I'd say that phase is mostly around marketing, right? It's more about how do we get, more sales and be a little bit more mature operationally. And then you have the 10 to 50 or 10 to $100 million range where that's where we see a lot of operationally challenged businesses. And then, you start to get into more of the mid-market enterprise, which at Zaelab, we're doing more and more of that work. And it's just once you start to get into the true enterprise, the $1 billion plus, it's just like a whole different world compared to like the $2 million business type of needs that they might have.
Well, I want to know like how you advertise on behalf of these. Yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, how are you advertising and going through that process? Because it just seems so overbearing. It just seems like, you see the elephant in front of you and you're like, I don't even know where to get started.
Sorry, just to clarify, when you mean like how they would advertise their business or we would advertise ourselves to get those customers? You mean them, the big companies themselves?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so complex. I would say that at that scale, it's often managed in segments, right? So the segments could be, categories of products. It could be regions like North America, EMEA, and you might have leaders in these different areas. Obviously, you have lots of different channels. These big mega companies are going to have, at that scale, they probably can benefit from things like outdoor marketing plus, all the social media marketing, Google search, everything. I mean, they start having to get smart about all their different channels. But you'd also be surprised that on the marketing side, I talk to $1 billion plus companies that are less sophisticated than small companies in certain aspects of marketing.
Really?
It depends on the area, right? Like I've seen $1 billion plus companies that have like very limited e-commerce email marketing, for instance.
Sure. Now you're making me feel good.
They're still running Facebook ads with like a white background photo, and they're just like, this works. This is ripping right now, and you're like, no, guys, this isn't good that we're doing this.
It depends, right? I mean, that's what's interesting about B2B is like a lot of big B2B companies have never really had to do modern marketing in the way that we are thinking about it, because so especially in B2B, what I find is they're very sales heavy organizations. Yeah. So this isn't always the case, but often they built their business on the back of like true traditional sales. Like we call you, like we know you, you're like my buddy. We go golfing and we do dinners, like trade shows, like. So that's when I say like you'd be surprised because some of these big mega companies are like just in the early, like they're less sophisticated than maybe a 20 million D2C business that had to build their entire business on modern marketing.
Yeah.
So, but they're going to be way better sales. Their sales force is going to be better than what, so there's other aspects of them that are very mature. It just depends on the area of the business that's just not maybe as mature.
I know not everything can be applied and scaled in the same way. Obviously, you got a sales heavy organization. You're building those relationships so that you can make multi-million-dollar purchases from each of those relationships.
Yeah.
I do think though, in 2026, as ad costs, platform changes, what's happening inside of email now with Gmail's AI inbox, I do think there is a page to be taken out of these sales heavy, large enterprise businesses that hopefully those of us on the scrappier D2C side can take out. Meaning what? Meaning crafting in real life experiences where I can build trust with that customer. And maybe I can't do that at scale with all 50,000 who are buying from me every month.
You have your premium customers, right? Your top 100, your top 1,000. I think one thing I've learned, because I've also done, keep in mind, I've done a lot of work in D2C. So I'm very familiar with the D2C world. I think D2C has a lot to learn from these big mega B2B companies. To your exact point, I think they're lacking on the relationship building people side of their business. And then I think, of course, B2B, could take a page out of the D2C book and do a little bit better on the marketing side.
And why not pick up the phone? Why not pick up the phone and call your top 100 customers? I mean, Colin, you remember this ad from Breeze.
So good.
It's crushed with him. I mean,
unbelievable.
Is their top performing ad of the entire year. What was it? It was literally a phone recording of them calling their top customer and hearing what she had to say. That was the ad. I mean, it was
awesome.
Calling their customer.
Yeah.
I think they spent I heard that they spent somewhere online. Nick or somebody said they spent over $1 million or made over $1 million.
The customer? Oh, you mean the ad?
On ad spend.
I thought you the customers because of the top. I wasn't sure how much they spent, but I'm sure it's a lot.
Well, I think she spent like $25,000 plus.
Yeah, it's a lot of cash.
And they
give her a stat. Like, how like YouTube or Shopify knows, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like your first 1,000 orders or what, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
We should be doing that type of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Right? Turn a customer into an advocate that way. Give you a trophy. Or make them part of the President's Club. You bought so much, you are a part of our President's Club.
It almost sounds like you should be a D2C consultant. I don't know.
Nice. And tell me this, Isaiah, I think you probably miss us on the D2C side just a little bit.
I do. I'll be honest, there's a lot of fun parts there that are, especially like the conferences it's a little more fun. I've been going to some of the B2B conferences.
Not quite as fun.
Great companies.
Yeah.
Amazing businesses. Not quite as fun.
Not quite as fun. Yeah, we get it.
Well, we are going to have some fun because, Isaiah, I have brought you here for a new segment called Ad versus Ad. And this is a big one for us. Essentially what we're going to do, I have picked out 2 ads, okay?
Yep.
We're going to watch and we're going to compare, and then we will debate on which ad is better and why. And I think today that I will be the ultimate judge of who wins here. I may enter into the fray myself. I probably will.
I think you will.
And I may award myself the winner of this debate. That does happen. Little collusion. Carson, if you will, I'd like you to bring up this overlay and hit the music for us too. Can you do that, my friend?
Let the fight begin.
Fight me. Fight me. Okay, we come to ad versus ad. Carson, if you will, bring up our first ad for us. This comes to us by way of Claude. Okay, well, this is a little context here first. Claude has launched all of these commercials aimed not at coding bros, but at artsy ladies. Okay. I've been seeing them everywhere on the internet. This tweet is an example, and we're going to watch one coming up here now. Play it for us, Carson.
Let's build a cozy mini app using Claude artifacts and make a winter dopamine menu that can keep the winter blues away. I have never coded my own app before, but with Claude, you can build and customize your creations in minutes just through simple conversation. These are some of the prompts I used to make my dopamine menu. The whole process from start to finish was so fast, fun, and easy, but if you don't know where to start, you can browse through the existing artifacts and make the app your own too. And with Claude, you can share what you've built with the world freely without incurring costs. Guys, I studied sociology in college. I don't know how to code. I can't believe I made this app in minutes. Turn any idea into reality with Claude and get...
Okay. All right. So just a few first thoughts. Obviously, not an easy sell. Okay. Going to a different target audience. Okay. But let me just get a few first impressions from both of you. Colin, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to sell
Hard.
B2B software over a video clip. They also nailed it aesthetically. And also Claude, from a UI interface, I would argue, I throw it out there, I'll get some pushback, is the most aesthetic of all of the current chat interfaces, ChatGPT, Gemini, all the ones. So they're really leaning into that, and you have kind of like the nice little voiceover. You're feeling good. I probably give this a 9.2. This is really well done, really well crafted. They also show the example of her building it out. They show the ease of prompts. This is how you should be doing B2B advertising. If you're considering doing a TikTok ad, a Facebook ad, you should do it this way.
Okay, that is a little high. That is a high score. That's a high score. But Isaiah, you're
good
ad.
I'm definitely not as. I think it was good, and I think they're on to something. I think they got to work on it more. Like my guess is they're going to refine it a little bit. I struggle with the 9.2 concept. I was going to go with a grading scale. My mind went to like a B plus.
Yeah.
I don't know where that comes in terms of.
You put it on 1 to 10.
8? Would that be an 8 out of 10? I don't know where that would be in the.
Don't give it a rookie score though. You don't give it whole numbers. You got to do a point. You know what I mean?
What do you think at 8.1?
Plus. The B plus is kind of the point instead of the B.
Okay.
And
Fair.
so, I think I'm going to give them a B plus because of the creativity of that segment that they're even going after. I think is actually a really interesting segment that they're going after, but there was just a little bit of like a cheesy factor that I didn't love. I don't know.
Okay, I've seen some of their other commercials for this new persona, and they're strange to me. It's like lady talking, hey, Claude, tell me about the clouds, and then she's like in this very cinematic, picturesque. What I did like about this, it's like a pretty girl who looks like she's talking on her phone, and she's like making a dopamine menu. No clue what that is. Okay. But there seems to be like, they're at least making an entrance here. So, I'll call it a 7.9 for now, but I think it's a lot better than what they have done. And I think it's a good entry point.
I think we need some target demographic opinions on this one.
I was about to say that. I'm going to say all three of us.
We're not the target. We're really
ad.
speculating. We're speculating hard here.
Okay. Well, exactly. I will say my wife, she is a vibe coder herself.
Nice.
Okay. So she is. And my little girls have begun to vibe code themselves.
Nice.
Really?
So
it's impressive.
Maybe I'll show it to her and we can get her.
I want to hear that feedback because that's
feedback.
the real answer.
That's the real answer.
That's the truth.
That's the real answer. Okay, let's go forward to our next one here, Carson. This is a different one, and this is a little context. Okay, let's move forward from here and let's show the actual video.
Yeah.
Pretty. Well, I'll tell you my secret. It is the High Smile V34 serum, and they now have the High Smile V34 whitening strips. This is like purple shampoo for your teeth. It like cancels out all those yellow stains. A concealer is what I like to call it. It conceals all those yellow stains from cigarettes, pop, coffee, all the things. You put a few pumps on your toothbrush, around it for a few seconds, and then you rinse it out, and you will be amazed at the shade difference that your teeth will be. Let me rinse. and then you get instant results. And then I'll go in once a week with the High Smile V34 whitening strips. They're purple too, and you just leave them on for 30 minutes and you will visibly be able to see after one use. I will link them for you because right now they are having the biggest sale I have yet to see, and I have been using these products for over a year now. I'm telling you, grab them while you can.
Okay, all right,
You
go back,
look
Carson.
a
Show us the
smoker.
context.
Your teeth are so pretty. Well,
Okay, so here's the context. This is an actual question. This wasn't a fake comment that she was responding to. And the comment was, "You don't look like a smoker." Okay, this lady is a genuine smoker. Okay, she is burning down Virginia Slims, okay, all the time. "You don't look like a smoker. Teeth are so pretty. You are just so beautiful." And then she responds with this video. Okay, thank you, Carson. Okay, now, oh gosh, we lost Isaiah. He's back. Okay, Isaiah, we'll start with you.
Guys, your thing does all sorts of fancy stuff.
We'll start with you, Isaiah. Give us your take, give us your ranking, give us your score, give us your reason.
Yeah, since I'll stick with a grading score, I'll say A-. I think the UGC was smart in terms of like the fact that it's theoretically it is the customer kind of advertising in a sense. It might be a little biased. The thing, because I'm also looking on desktop, so that's also kind of like I might get a weird opinion. The way that like bubble was above her head was really annoying me because it was like floating on her head, and I was like, why is this? It just like I don't know. That really bothered me. But and then also I didn't mind the Southern accent. I kind of liked it, but I could see some people like depends on who you're marketing to, right? There might be some people that doesn't work for. So,
Colin,
something to think about.
I'm gonna throw out a little game right now. That comment that she replied to, I would bet on my life that was placed by the company. I would bet on my life.
I agree.
Probably.
That's also kind of genius if they pulled it off in like a way that no one knows for sure. Like you got to give. If that's true, then I give them an A+.
Yeah. So that was planted. That was a plant. She replies to it. She's also not trying to, talk from a script that totally doesn't fit her vibe. It's super natural. It's organic.
Yeah,
She's saying terms that she used in her life. One of them was pop. That's a very specific.
Oh, I love that. That's probably the best part of the whole.
Very specific. That just very authenticity right there. Also, a little bit of social proof was thrown in there at the very end. I've used this product for over a year already. This is the best sale. So there's social proof and urgency as well. You can also run with this. You could throw this on Meta. You could throw this on a couple other places too. And I thought this was great. I mean, I'd probably give this one an 8.8.
8.8. Okay.
I thought it was really good.
I think her accent is wonderful. I love that accent.
Why do you love it so much?
Here's the thing. In any kind of marketing, any kind of advertising, you gotta make a few enemies. And
it's true.
There are people
I struggle with that, but I agree with you. I think I'm too neutral sometimes, and I think I got to get better at that.
There are people who are going to be absolutely repelled and hate listening to this woman because of her accent. And so also there will be people, myself, who are drawn in by the accent because it feels familiar.
You bought this product, didn't you?
I have bought the product. I have bought the product. And the whole premise of the thing.
Let's see. Can we get?
They're getting better. They're getting better. I
don't know.
Too much pop. And maybe, I'm not a cigarette partaker.
It's true.
But the premise of this was you are a cigarette smoker. How can you be pretty and have white teeth? That's a great question. It's a great opening of the loop. And then she gets into the story. I thought that was genius.
All right, thanks for my answer. I'm moving it back to a B+ because I also don't want to promote cigarettes and like, hey, it's fine to smoke cigarettes. We'll keep your teeth white.
Hey, bro, Isaiah, you got to get over that, man. Sabrina Carpenter, she's burning them down now. Okay.
It's cool again.
Cigarettes are back.
It's really cool again. Italians are doing it. It's cool.
not a promoter.
I was just in Europe for a long time. Here's an interesting fact about it. People think like, oh, Europeans smoke so much more than Americans. that I think they do smoke a little bit more, but it's actually not as true as you think. It's that we hide it. So Americans smoke a lot, but they like go into like the alley and they're like all, exactly.
Little gremlin in the alley. Just
exactly. You don't see it, but it's there. It's happening.
a little more open about their smoking in
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, here's my take. I loved the ad from this lady, but she's got a much easier job. Okay, she's selling teeth whitening. The girl who's trying to sell prosumer software,
it's hard
to other ladies that want to build their own dopamine menu. Not an easy task. Okay.
Yeah.
Not an easy task. I will give it to the lady in selling teeth whitening, just because she had an easier job as well. But as far as who had the best of the opinions today, I'm sorry, Isaiah. I have to give it to Colin. Colin, you are the king today. We celebrate you. And maybe I did that on purpose just because there's the golf ball. Maybe I did that on purpose just because I'm hoping that maybe Isaiah will fly me to Miami again. I don't know. Maybe I should have warmed you up a little bit and given you the championship. Isaiah,
what about you? I thought you were good.
Well, I mean, I could have given it to myself, but I decided to do the noble thing.
He's a fair commissioner.
Yeah,
he is.
And if I were to become commissioner of e-commerce, I think I would be a good one. And maybe there's
agree. I vote for you now. If that's open.
I do as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. 2 votes.
And hey, I'm not party affiliated anyway. I'm available. To be commissioner of e-commerce. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm available and I'll be a fair one.
Are you guys familiar with the B2B e-commerce association?
I am now. Tell me.
Check it out. It's a group of guys like yourself that built a focused community on B2B. What about, is there a D2C e-commerce community?
There needs to be.
There needs to be a commissioner. Like, I don't know, just something to think about.
Think about. Isaiah, we appreciate you joining us today. We know you are a busy man. Give us 30 seconds before you go, though, and tell us, man, where we can follow you, where we can hear you, and where we can maybe, if we're running marketing for a giant billion-dollar organization, where can we work with you as well, should we so choose?
Well, absolutely. Our company is Zaelab.com, ZAELAB.com. So ZAELab.com, Zaelab. And then I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. I've been slacking a little bit. I got to post more. You go through those ups and downs, right?
Yeah, you do.
Sure. You know how it is, right? So Isaiah, my name, it's pretty easy to find me, Isaiah Bollinger. If you spell it correctly on LinkedIn, and Twitter is probably where I'm most active, or X. I know. I still call it Twitter. I don't know about you guys.
I do too.
X, Twitter. Those are the two I'm most active. I'm starting to kind of trickle back into Facebook, and so I've got a little personal hobby D2C stuff I'm working on.
Yeah, you do. Tell us.
Yeah. I mean, board games, sports cards. I'm just the whole thing. I'm just like, it's becoming an obsession. My wife is going to kill me.
Stay alive. Don't leave us. We want you here walking and healthy on the earth. Well, Isaiah, we appreciate you joining us, and we look forward to having you again, my friend.
Thank you. I really want to come back. So
absolutely.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Anytime. Wow. That was good. Good. Man, some interesting perspective there on working
for sure.
Big boy clients, big boy clients.
It's a whole different, it's a whole different ball game. It's so complex. It's so long. The sales cycles of everything is just so drawn out, so much longer. Yeah, it's a whole different beast.
My takeaway was, if I'm agency side and I want to work with people like that, I need to be willing to upskill and solve more complex problems, because those people, the terms they're buying with and how they get to know those people, and how do you serve a large sales heavy organization? What does marketing like that look? How does it look different?
Yeah.
But also encouraging that, hey, a lot of these folks, maybe they're not as fingers on the pulse as your 20 million or below D2C e-commerce company. Very interesting.
And a lot of that was, he was kind of hinting at the fact that a lot of that business is done in person. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Handshaking, conferences, dinners, golfing, those types of things. So if you're trying to sell to that kind of org, we keep saying it on the show, in person is the way to go in
In person.
2026.
Yeah, it's the way. And also, hey, if you are a D2C e-commerce org, get in person with your customer, man.
Yeah.
Build your own president's club. Give them a trophy.
Yeah.
Give them a YouTube plaque. Give them a
Yeah.
Shopify award. I mean, not that literally, but your own version of it.
Imagine like a
And-
gold Brez can.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
exactly. Give them one of them things and call them and talk to them. Make it an ad. Run it up. Yeah, I really liked that. Okay, moving forward here, before we get to our last few stories of the day, we should talk about knowing our numbers. If you can't explain how your business is doing inside of a sentence or two or a single dashboard, I'm not sure that you really know how your business is doing. How are you tracking toward forecast? What is your LTV? What is your CAC? How have the different platform changes affected us this week? Where are we now versus where we should be? That is why we love our partners at AMP. Their personal tool that is a favorite of mine is Lifetimely, but that's not all that they do. That's not all that they do. Experience I had, everybody's got their own data, Google Sheets, Excel, hither and thither all over your organization. If boss man or boss lady or somebody on your team or underneath you, they want to know, hey, how are we doing? Wouldn't it be nice to have a single place to point them where the entire company can know? Yeah, it would. Board level reporting, all of the things, make yourself look like a big brain marketer, founder, operator. Get all of your data right inside of AMP and make a few more dollars for yourself. That way you can scale with confidence in 2026. I think we all need that and want that. Many thanks to our partners at AMP. Use amp.com. Okay, moving forward here to a few of our, let's make these a little quicker. Marketing Brew released this article that is based on Liquid Death. We all hate ads. How Liquid Death is keeping social marketers on their toes. I'll read a little bit to you here. Everything we do is from Liquid Death is to try to satirize advertising because we all hate ads, Murphy said. But these tropes, those jingles, the setups are so embedded in our consciousness. So when you take this familiar thing and twist it and make it funny or unexpected, there's tremendous bang for the buck. Despite the brand's pricey stunts, its growing product lines, and a recent $1.4 billion valuation, Murphy said his in-house team remains intentionally lean with only enough members to fit in an SUV legally. Okay, the point here, hey, Sully, the point here,
Sully just came in.
now, I love what they have done. I don't think I agree with the premise, though. We all hate ads. Is that the case? I think what we hate is boredom. I think what we hate is being sold a solution for a problem that we don't have. I think we actually all do like being entertained. We all do like having our problem solved, and we all do like having a brighter future, which often comes to us via products featured in advertising. So I don't agree with this thesis, this foundation from which they are arriving at these incredible results. But I do get the sentiment. Colin, what's your take?
I think it's exactly that. We don't hate ads. We just hate ads that are phoned in, that are not entertaining, that have no creativity to it. We're going to see in week and some change, I think 2 weeks, week and some change, some of the most creative ads on the planet at the time during the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl of ads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people are fired up about that. I'm excited to see those ads. And just break down what I just said. I am excited to see the ads that are at the Super Bowl because it's where marketers showcase their most creativity. They absolutely are showcasing their creative chops and saying, this is the best possible foot we have moving forward. Check us out. This is why we're amazing. And so I love that. I think people just don't want boring, trite, conventional ads.
Or irrelevant ads.
Relevant.
If you've got a real problem, oh, my foot hurts. And then you come to me with, hey, here is a thing to solve your foot situation. I'm excited. Okay. I want to know. I will give you my money.
Yeah.
I will also say the favorite part of any football game for my kids, I watch a few football games. Okay. Their favorite part of the entire experience is the ads. They get hyped up when the commercials come on. That's what they want to see is the commercials. Okay. And that's not because I've sold them on how awesome commercials are. It's just a point. It's a reference point to say, we don't necessarily hate ads. We hate irrelevant ads, and we hate ads that are boring. We all like dopamine. If you can deliver that, then I think you're golden. And
100%.
people will reward you with dollars. Quickly here, Meta, Snap, TikTok, and YouTube are going to trial. This is from the New York Times. Want to know about the social media addiction trials, and the basis of these trials is cigarettes, because the point is that these companies have sold a product that is purposely addictive to children. I don't think this is going anywhere. This is like, I get it. Okay. I myself try to limit my social intake. You can bring us back, Carson. I try to limit my social intake. I get it. It's destructive for children and for adolescents, and their time and usage of them should be greatly restricted. That's my take. But come on. Like, so our entire industry runs on these platforms doing what they do and being available. And there's so much money that has been sown into both political parties in the United States from these organizations. I think this is going nowhere. I think it's a nothing burger.
Absolutely. Same here. I think it's a nothing burger. I mean, you really want to, go for it. You could delete all the apps off your phone, all the apps off your desktop.
That's true.
There you go. You're out of it. You're not going to be addicted to them.
That's true.
At some point, you have to go back to the consumer and say, hey, man, this is your life. How do you want to live this? Which of these apps do you want to be involved with every day? Is it these social media apps, or is it other apps? There's other apps that I interact with a ton more now, other than social media apps, that I love interacting with, that are like rewarding. There's some productivity apps that I use a ton more than Facebook or any of these. So it's just it's up to the individual.
I think perhaps, as happened with nicotine, perhaps there are greater restrictions that are placed eventually. And I think probably will benefit from that, really.
Sure.
Even if your product you're selling to kids, really, honestly, you're selling to parents. Okay.
Yeah.
They're the ones who have the credit cards. So I get the push. I'm with the push. Maybe there are some healthy restrictions placed on minors using these apps. I think that could be helpful, but I don't think these platforms are going anywhere. Too important. Yeah, not gonna happen. Next here, this is something that we all should pay attention to. ReRhone. ReRhone has rolled out ReRhone. They debut a resale site that reminded me of what Patagonia did, where people can buy customer returns. And, maybe they're brand new, maybe they take a little fixing, what. But the point is that ReRhone processes 5,000 returns per month. And they're looking for a way to make a buck. They're looking for a way to rescue some of that revenue that they are losing out on. They already paid to acquire that customer. Now said customer, 5,000 of them, at least per month, is returning something. This isn't even necessarily a sign that these are bad customers. Abercrombie & Fitch found many years ago the people who returned the most actually spent the most too. They were very valuable customers. But I like this because goodwill e-com is surging. Okay, we have the rise of whatnot. We have so many things happening in our economy right now that's saying, hey, if there's value to be had, there are people who will buy it. They'll buy your thing at a lower price if they can. I love this. And I think everybody should build their own version of this. When I was at Bruce Bolt, and we would do a kind of a sale of this kind. It wasn't always available. We would do it every few months. Crush. Yeah. What do you think, Alan? You like this, or is it a distraction?
No, I absolutely love this. The two other really notable brands that also do this are Lululemon and New Balance. So New Balance has New Balance Reconsidered, same exact concept. And New Balance is absolutely on a tear right now. I think that this goes into that price conscious customer. It also, you get a new audience as well. And then you also get to deal with the fact that you're dealing with returns that you could no longer use anymore. And so this is a huge way to grab a couple dollars out of stuff that you would have had just kind of laying around. I love this so much.
I love it too. This comes from, let's see, is this from the CMO? I think this is from the CMO of ReRhone.
Smart.
She had this to say: resale is something we had been exploring for a while, and it felt like the right time. ReRhone declined to share revenue, but a spokesperson said the business has seen double-digit year-over-year growth. Hey, if you can shake out a few more dollars, rescue a little money from resale, I like it.
It's also a great little entry point for the consumer, where if the traditional ReRhone is too expensive because it's a premium brand, if they're able to kind of get a little taste, a little teaser on a resale one, and then they're like, actually, I love this brand.
Yes.
Let me go spend $6,000 other dollars on the main website.
Exactly.
So this is a great little, Trojan horse into the consumer.
Resale. Think about it.
Think about it.
Seriously. Okay, before we hit our last few stories of the day, we need to talk about focus. Focus is an amazing thing, Colin, and I'm particularly referring to PostScript. Focus, whenever you obsess over one thing, you get outsized results, and that's what PostScript has done with SMS. They are the only partner inside of our ecosystem who will aim to make SMS your number one revenue generator. That is not just an addendum to, hey, we'll do 5 other things for you and then we'll bolt on SMS. No, my friend, that is a dare. That is a tall task, and they endeavor to do this with me. And I'll say this: we made the switch. On average, people switch from some other SMS to PostScript. They see a 22% increase in revenue. We went from making very little money to being a top 1% qualitative and quantitative account on the entire PostScript platform. That was inside of a year. Okay. That's a lot of money. That's the point. And I think in 2026, we all could use that. Another cool fact, Seguno and PostScript actually integrate together. Very happy to have them as our partners. If you go to postscript.io/SMS-benchmarks, you can see, what are we doing now? My category. How much should we be doing? Move over to PostScript. They're going to take you to the promised land. Many thanks to PostScript as our partners here at the show. Okay, a little lightning round here to wrap up. Gen Z is cutting down on working hard. Gen Z has cut down. This comes to us from Unusual Wales. Gen Z has cut down on their effort at work because they don't think it's worth it if they can't afford long-term financial goals. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. I think probably this sentiment exists in every generation to some degree, but I will say Gen Z's got a tough road ahead of them. And I mean, I get it. Yeah. I don't think that's going to maximize revenue generation for your career, but I do get the desire to just drop out and forget it altogether. If you have the feeling I'm never going to be able to afford a home, then, why try? I get that. I don't think that's smart or wise, but I do get it. Colin, you saw this. What's your take?
Yeah, it's no fun. I mean, I can understand the sentiment for sure. Just going through multiple, crises myself, being in the younger generation. There is going to be an interesting thing as we approach where the wealthiest generation currently are the boomers. They have the most money physically in the economy. The boomers are getting older. We're going to start to have some mortality within the boomers. That is going to be one of the greatest wealth transfers from one generation to the next. I'd be very curious what happens within that kind of couple year period and how that wealth transfer, who's kind of exchanging money during that.
I think that the big opportunity here too for Gen Z and the rest of us is AI. There's going to be a significant wealth transfer amidst AI as well, and how one implements it, how one uses it, what one does with it, and how one helps other people with it. Don't drop out. Don't give up. There's still time. There's still time.
America.
We're America. Okay, now we do have some unfortunate news from Amazon as well. This comes to us via the Kobasai letter. I don't know who these people are, but breaking: Amazon announces they are laying off 16,000 corporate employees due to, quote, rising competition over AI. You hate to see this, okay? You hate to see it. I do think that it's been a pattern, and maybe only more of it is coming.
Yeah.
But there is an opportunity, rising competition over AI. If you can get in there, learn the tools, and become somebody that can help companies and use it, implement it, etc. I do think there's opportunity. I hated seeing these layoffs, though. I don't want
Yeah.
that.
I mean, Chris, I don't know if you remember, but from one of our first shows,
Yeah,
there was a leaked new letter coming out of Amazon that
exactly.
basically over this calendar year there was going to be 75,000
Oh,
layoffs,
oh,
and so these are kind of, you know, quote unquote planned out, and so expect more. Amazon's a massive company. I will say that they're a massive, massive, massive company. But on top of that, UPS did just lay off 30,000 people. That's quite a lot as well. So
yikes, man. Is
that's
that
some,
it? Is that inside of corporate as well?
that's
Or
inside of corporate as well.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Some big numbers here. Yeah.
Wow. Well, e-commerce welcomes thee. There's
Yeah.
always opportunity on the open internet to make a
That's for
thing and
sure.
sell a thing and find a widget. That's honestly, it's one thing that I love. It's probably the main thing that I love about our industry is that it does bear the promise of freedom. It
For sure.
does. If you can make it, if you can sell it, if you can help somebody else with it, there's money to be made on the free and open internet. Well, we welcome you, and sorry to hear about all these folks at Amazon and UPS. Diversify or die. This from Rock Hladnik. I hope I'm saying your last name right, Rock. Rock and I got included in this Slack group with Rock, and I will say, I did not know of your game before, sir, but I see it now. He's always dropping wisdom. He's like David Herman. He's got his finger on the pulse. He knows what's happening now. He says this: figure out how you can go omni-channel and not, oh, we missed it, Carson, and not be 100% meta dependent or die. Okay. Very, very hardcore. Okay. Very hardcore, but we need to hear that. We need to hear it. Okay. And then this next from Max over at Triple Whale. He says, what separates smaller brands from bigger brands? It's a question I get all the time. The answer is surprisingly consistent. Small brands lean too hard on one ad channel. Big brands don't. That's why I'm excited to announce a new partnership with AppLovin. Axon is quickly becoming a real performance channel for D2C, and we are making it easy to test. And then he has an offer here, which I encourage everybody to take because I love AppLovin, and I think it's the best way to begin to diversify if you are solely focused on Meta right now. I really believe it's the best place to start if you want to get somewhere else. Do you think this is bogus? You think there's something to it? Do you like the Axon AppLovin route? What do you think?
No, I love this so much. I don't think you should be entirely dependent on one channel ever for anything. You are playing on borrowed land, so you need to diversify out if you want to be a real sustainable beast in 2026. These are some really viable options. There's some great ad channels out there. Get to know them, get to love them, figure out their top performers, and make your own content for them.
I guess the pushback that I would have is that if you're small enough, probably better for you to really focus on one. I mean,
For
is
sure.
that fair? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what revenue level Rock is specifically targeting here. I do think he has a very valid point, but if I'm just getting out the door and
Yeah.
maybe I got some momentum, maybe I'm 6 figures, I'm not even 7 figures yet, or maybe I'm 1 or 2 million per year. Not a bad thing to put all your eggs in on Meta and figure out how to do it good. But at a certain point, it seems consistent. There's kind of a soft ceiling, and people got to make more product. They got to find somewhere else to make money as far as ad platforms are concerned. I see it all the time. You kind of hit a soft ceiling, and then you got to figure out somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
Diversify or
agree.
die.
You have to.
Well, as we wrap here, we are running out of time. There's one more story. I know we got a couple on the list, but let's hit one more here, Carson. And it's the last one that Colin really needs to see. Gracie Abrams, 4.3 million followers on TikTok, Colin. She has deleted her TikTok account. I mean, not just a great singer, but really the next T Swift. I mean, it's not too much to say. And I mean, she deleted 4.3 million followers. It's a little concerning. It's a little concerning for TikTok. You know, what's your take? I mean, you've been telling me everything's fine. Everything's going to be okay. But Gracie's gone. It's a big deal.
It's okay. Not a big deal whatsoever. I'm telling you. She's got Instagram. She's got other platforms. TikTok's going to be totally fine. 6 months from now, a year from now, this is totally fine. Not a big deal.
Without Gracie, TikTok's going to be fine.
It'll be just fine. I can promise you that.
Bro, it's a big loss, man. I mean, have you listened? Have you listened to The Secret of Us? I'm not sure.
Oh, she's amazing. Yeah, she's amazing.
It's a big loss. It's a big loss. We'll see. We'll see. Well, we'll keep our eye on the ball.
Yeah,
we'll keep
for sure.
everyone updated here. Well, many thanks to Isaiah Bollinger for joining us. Many thanks to our partners, Postscript and AMP and Seguno. And the good news is that we're going to be here tomorrow. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you all. May the ROAS be ever in your favor. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.